podcast fans are smart. Podcast fans are smart. Hello, I'm author Denise Turney, and you are watching the Chistel, CHISTELL.com YouTube channel. And you guessed it. This show is on podcast fans, and they are smart cookies. I like to listen to podcasts. Do you? And I have a podcast. I love podcasts. I listen to podcasts for entertainment, to be educated. I listen to learn things, be inspired, motivated, and encouraged. And I can't count the times that I needed to be encouraged or to get an answer to a question, and it came through a podcast. I received an answer to a question or encouragement. And it's similar how the people tell me. I mean, it's amazing the numbers of people I talk to. Where'd you learn how to cook that recipe, some great homemade dish? Or how did you learn how to fix something in your home, like clear the pipes? Or how did you learn how to fix that issue with the battery in your car? And they tell me YouTube videos. I watched a YouTube video and I learned how to do it with your old people. Watch our Chisel.com YouTube video and learn about book marketing and different tips, freelancer tax tips, which I gave earlier. Just different things that I've learned that I share that they say, I learned that from watching that Chisel.com YouTube channel. But I also have a podcast, Off the Shelf Books Talk Radio. If you typed in the Google Denise Turney Off the Shelf, it should come up at number one. It should come up number one. But podcast popularity is a great reason to start your own podcast. They have grown and grown and grown and grown and grown. And it's better to get in on something at the start, which is too late to be at the start of podcast, but to start earlier than when that wave is starting to drop off, to get in on it early. So here are tips to help you create a winning podcast. Choose a topic. Now my podcast, Off the Shelf Books Talk Radio, focuses on books and that storytelling. There's a lot, songwriter storytelling. We've had a movie producers on. We've had people that do stage plays. I've had models on that do work in storytelling. But that's what Off the Shelf Books Talks Radio does. It focuses on storytelling, editors, literary agents, writers. We've had New York Times best-selling authors on, etc. And I encourage you to listen to Off the Shelf Books Talk Radio. It comes on live Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So choose a topic. Identify guests to feature on your podcast. And I like to get guests. Off the Shelf is scheduled now about 6-7 months out. And at its height, it's scheduled over a year out. But share tips and advice on your podcast. Create a strong radio opening. You could use music or professional voiceover. And they have resources out here. I think I want to say Blurberry is one. You can do some cool openings for your podcast. Do some tools like Blurberry. Research questions for guests. Now I have a 1-hour show, Off the Shelf Books Talk Radio. So I do 30 questions. Or 30 to 35 questions, and I can keep it going, moving for 2 minutes per question. Now, some guests that I can get through almost all 30. Some I can only get through like 20 because they're more talkative, so which I love. But you never have quiet airtime on a podcast. Be consistent. So air your show on a regular basis. Again, Off the Shelf Books Talk Radio comes on Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or New York City time. And again, you can just find it by looking Denise Turney Off the Shelf, and it can come up and you can listen to the show. And it comes on live. So find a good podcast host. Market your show. Encourage guests to market the show as well. I can tell when a guest has really pushed the show. Trust me, I can tell. Some just put it up on a Facebook page. I'm telling you, that's not enough. You have to ask people to listen to the show, your family, your friends. But I can tell when people have done that. Consider building a website for your show. And that is becoming more and more popular. But those are some things that you can do to really get a podcast going. You want to be consistent. You want it to be professional. Get your questions out written beforehand. Do research for your guests. Learn about their bio. Read a little bit about their books. You can read excerpts on their books on Amazon. You don't have to read the whole book. You could, because some guests might send you a free book if you're interviewing authors. But get to know your guests. Get to know their work so you can ask intelligent, engaging questions And the guest might say, that nobody ever asked me that before, and I've been interviewing for years. But to make your podcast successful. And I encourage you again to listen to Off the Shelf Books Talk Radio. And I'll see you back here next week. Have a good one. Bye for now.